Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you, Hema. Thank you, Jayadeep, Akshita. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Okay. Perfect. Let's stop the chat so that we can focus on the training. Okay. This is our plan for our today's session. We'll understand. We already had discussed about VPC. We have started practicals of VPC. Please do not miss any class related to VPC because this is very important. There's a lot of dependency between one session to other session. So we already have learned what is VPC and we already have learned how to create a VPC. Today we'll be discussing about what is subnet, what is the behavior of public subnet, and what is the behavior of private subnet. This is our plan for our today's session. So before getting on, let's have a quick discussion. Ayappa, good morning. You have a doubt, please.
Hi.
Yes.
Regarding connecting to the AWS for CLI point of view, that day you have shown us the access keys, right?
Yes.
Getting the access keys. So if I'm a root user or normal user, even though also I can able to go to IAM, I can get the access keys. Or
No.
only a root account has given the
normal user. When can he connect to IAM? Only when have the attached policies. Ayappa. Okay.
Correct.
Assuming
Correct.
normal user is having easy to full access.
Okay.
Can he access the keys?
No.
No. If normal user is having S3 access, can he go to IAM and get the keys? No.
If we have access on the particular role, then only you can able to access that.
When he is accessing IAM full IAM access, then he can get the keys. Okay.
Okay. By default, it is creating right, the access key shared key. In case if I delete that access key, I can regenerate, right? If I'm not.
Yeah, you can recreate it. Yes, you are right.
But the old one, the new one, both are different.
Both are different.
Actually, yesterday I tried to create already when user creating, I got the keys automatically. I tried one more time, and then I deleted the new one. Again, the old one will be there, so it will work right automatically, or it will not work.
It should be enabled. If it is enabled, it will definitely work. Okay. Okay. How is your learning, Ayappa? How is your learning going on?
Yeah, good. It's
Okay.
good
So day by day, your exposure towards the AWS cloud is better, right?
Yes. One more doubt I have. Vertical scaling, horizontal scaling, and scale in, scale out is there, right?
Yeah.
We have. So horizontal scaling means you are going to create new server separately in the load balancer point of view. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Vertical scaling means it reducing the server, whatever increase earlier, it was decreasing the server, same server again in vertical scaling.
Ayappa.
Hello?
1 minute. Ayappa, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, able to hear you. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, in horizontal scaling.
1 minute. I understand your question.
Yeah.
Actually, this is not part of VPC, but I want to discuss this.
No,
Tell me what is horizontal. What is horizontal scaling?
In the load balancer, when the load is more at the time, Elastic Load Balancer is going to create one more server to serve the request for the customer. That is called as horizontal scaling.
This is horizontal axis. Am I right, Ayappa?
Correct.
X axis. This is vertical axis.
Correct.
Agree?
Agree.
Already 2 EC2 machines are running already.
Okay.
When the traffic increases, you are creating one more
EC2 box on the
EC2 machines.
correct.
This is called as what?
Horizontal scaling.
Horizontal
scaling
out.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, correct.
Horizontal scale out.
Scale out. Yeah, correct.
What is horizontal scale in? Can you guess?
I think it is going to create the same kind of configuration server of going to create new one in the
Scale
same.
out is increasing number of machines. When the traffic decreases, removing the machines is scale in.
Okay, scale in means reducing.
Reducing.
Sorry, reducing. Correct. Once the load is normal, it is whatever the new server is created, it is going to later. So
Reduce.
minimum, maximum, and
So
one more
scale out
option.
is increasing the access to machines horizontally, that is in the new machines. Scale in is
Correct.
decreasing the existing machines.
Correct.
Vertical scale out means what?
It is going to increase in the same server. It is going to increase the capacity of RAM, CPU, disk capacity. Like
Vertical scale in means.
it is going to reduce the capacity of the server. Whatever really
Got it?
the RAM.
I hope your doubt is clear.
Thank you. It's perfect. Actually, the difference I got confused is somewhere I learning horizontal scaling, somewhere I seeing scale. So because of that, I was a little bit confused.
Now you got to understand there's out and in both at horizontal level as well as vertical level.
Got it.
Got it, Ayappa?
Yeah, perfectly.
So you are from which location?
I am from Hyderabad.
Okay, how many years of experience you have?
I have 8 years experience as a DBA, SQL DBA.
Okay. MySQL?
SQL Server, Microsoft.
SQL Server. Okay. How do you know about our training?
Through Facebook and Telegram.
So are you joining from the day one?
Initially, I didn't join. I came to know later. Then I joined.
Okay. From which topic you have joined?
I think EC2 instance.
Okay, fine. Are you enjoying the training?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. Now, can you tell me, are you there in the last class?
Yeah, in the VPC class, I'm there. Yeah.
So, okay, if anybody asks you what is VPC, can you answer it?
VPC is nothing but it's an isolated network where we are going to build our more infrastructure like EC2, whatever we want it. So it's a isolated part.
It's isolated partition.
Isolated partition we are going to create in the
inside the AWS region. Inside the AWS region.
Correct. Inside the correct.
Okay. Next point. How to determine the size of the VPC?
So how many servers you want to host into the VPC accordingly you can define. So the maximum subnet is 32. So out of that, how many servers?
No. Maximum
subnet size is 32.
Maximum subnet
size is 32.
1 minute. This is your statement. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
This is your statement. Your statement is maximum subnet size is 32.
Correct.
You should not say subnet. You should say subnet mask.
Okay.
Subnet is different. Subnet mask is different.
Okay.
Till now we have not discussed about subnet. So we have discussed about maximum subnet mask is 32. Okay.
Okay.
1 minute. So so can you explain the calculation?
Yeah.
If I use an IP address, this one.
Yeah.
What's the calculation? The maximum number is
so 32 minus 16 we have to do. So we get
minus
16 is a separate mask. That is power of 16. That means it will come around 65,536 IPs. We can configure in the particular VPC.
Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. This is how you can configure the size of the VPC. There is many number of EC2 machines your VPC can contain. Am I right, Ayappa?
Correct. If the separate mask number is increasing, the server IPs will be reduced. Yes. If the separate mask is less, you can create more servers.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect. So This is how you can determine the size of the VPC. Okay, Ayyappa. Hmm? Okay, thank you, thank you, Matthew. You are allowed to unmute Matthew. You have raised your hand.
Hello?
Yeah, Matthew, I can hear you.
Okay. No, now I'm following up with with what he was trying to say as concerns the VPC is concerned with other subnets we are going to build. So the class is very interesting.
Thank you very much. Any technical question you're having?
No, not yet. I don't have any technical question yet. I'm just following up with
Perfect.
the lab.
May I know your location?
My location, I'm in Maryland,
Okay, okay,
USA.
yeah, okay. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome, sir.
Sagar PV.
Hi.
Good morning, Sagar.
Good morning. Very good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Actually,
Thank you.
to talk to you.
Good.
So my question is, I understood the subnet mask. You know, the maximum size and the minimum.
The calculations behind the
Calculation, correct.
subnet size, subnet VPC size.
Yeah, VPC is correct. Yeah. Could you explain me what is the difference between 172? Some IP start with 172s. You know. I have 5 years of experience as a support engineer.
Mhm.
I am I just wanted to know just what is the difference between IP addresses starting with 10.0.0.1 and the 172. Some IP addresses will start with the 172, right?
Okay,
So
there are different types of IP addresses. You don't need to
yeah,
worry, Sagar, as of now, with respect to learning of AWS. Okay, try to
yeah.
understand the concept. And one more question. Instead of 10.0.0.0, can you write 20.0.0.0? Hmm? Can I do
Mm,
that when I'm creating a VPC?
no, I think 10.0.1
Why?
dot. Not sure.
When I'm creating a VPC,
Okay.
here I'm using an IP address 10.0.0.0/16. You know the importance of 16. We already have discussed about the subnet mask.
Yeah.
This IP address can be any number. It's not compulsory that it should be 10.0.0.0 only. Any series
Okay.
you can take it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, makes sense.
got
Okay.
it?
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Yes, these are all private IP addresses. Okay, Sagar.
Okay.
Thank you.
One more question,
Mhm.
actually. Why the new keep? Why new keep every time?
You can
Like,
use an existing keeper also, not a problem. Okay,
okay then. Yeah.
it does not make a difference. Hmm?
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you. Soumya Ghoshal, looks like you are using older version of the Zoom. Okay, so please, I am unable to unmute you. Okay, so please use the newer version of Zoom. Uninstall Zoom and install it so that you can have a talk. Nikhil, how are you doing?
Hi, sir. Great.
Hmm. Yes, tell me.
Sir, actually, I have a doubt. Like, sir, you are using this 16, and we have total users as 65 and 526, right, sir?
Yes.
Sir, actually, I have studied some part of the CCN, and in a CCN part there is like, sir, like you have tell the range that is 1 to 256
Mm-hmm.
as
Okay.
IP address, and sir, there I study like 1 and 256 address I can't use, means
Okay.
starting and ending.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my doubt is like how we can do it,
Here
means,
also we cannot use it. I will come. I will address that point soon.
and
Okay.
sir what and we can use the FLSM and BLSM part or not?
Sorry.
Like sir, in that part there is a FLSM like that fixed number of ranges, like sir 8, like the subnet mask, no, sir, it's a part of
We
8,
can do that.
8.
You have to wait, Nikhil. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. The Ayyappa, can we have a talk again?
Sure, sure, definitely.
Okay. So
Thanks for the
so if I 65,536 EC2 machines I can create, isn't it, inside the VPC?
Correct. Based on the, I mean,
Based
when
on
you're
this
going to create,
example. Based on this
when
example.
yeah, when we are going to create a VPC,
Okay.
how many steps
Okay.
we have to apply? Based on we can proceed to create a
Yes.
separate mask.
Okay. 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 Now, so we can have the 65,536 machines only. We understood that. Okay. Now, when client wants to shift their data center to AWS, okay, so Ayappa, when they want to have their servers on AWS, practically there are different types of servers, isn't it? We have web servers, we have application servers, you have database servers. You are into the DBA side, isn't it? So you have some set of database servers, you have few application servers, isn't it, Ayappa? Okay.
Correct.
Now, let's say client is having 1,000 database servers and 1,000 web servers or something like that. Okay. So we should not dump all the servers inside the VPC. Don't dump like this. This is not the right practice.
Correct.
Okay. So don't directly VPC created as this is my partition. Don't dump all the machines into the VPC. Okay. So
Correct.
what we have to do, we should not, we cannot, it's not cannot, we should not dump all the servers directly. Let's say client is having some 100 web servers, and client is having some 100 database servers. Okay. So total how many machines we can hire? Client is having 200 machines.
200
The right approach is web servers is different type of servers, database servers is different type of servers, isn't it? So create a partition inside the VPC. Create one partition for web servers and create one partition for the database servers. If there are 100 web servers, all the 100 web servers, place it in one partition. If there are 100 DB servers, all 100 DB servers, place it in another partition. These partitions created under the VPC are called as subnets. So that is the reason you have used a term called subnet. That's different. Subnet mask is different. What is subnet? Subnet is a partition done inside the VPC, or called as what? Subnet. Okay. VPC itself is a partition, isn't it? Inside the data center. In our VPC, we are again creating few more partitions. Okay. So web server one partition, the database server one partition. Those partitions done inside the VPCs are called as what? Subnet. Okay. As I told you yesterday, let's say you want to buy a plot, so from the real estate venture, you buy your partition. Okay. That is your plot. In your plot, again, you do partitions, right? Bedroom is one partition, and living room is one partition, kitchen is one partition, isn't it? So those are as per our requirements. In the same way, it's always good practice to partition your VPC and place all the web servers in one particular partition, place all the DB servers in one particular partition. The partitions which are created inside the VPCs are called as subnets. Clear? Okay. So let's consider.
The IP address can be any series, right? It could
yes.
Be
Now I'll tell you. So when you are when you're creating a VPC, you have provided this subnet mask value 16, right? Similarly, when you're creating a partition that is subnet, you also should provide the size of the subnet. I provide the size of the subnet as 10.0.1.0/24 as my first subnet. Okay. So first of all, 16 is nothing but total how many machines inside the VPC? Ayappa?
65,536 machines you got to clear.
Right. Now let's calculate the size of the first subnet. I am providing subnet value as subnet mask as 24. Maximum number is 32 minus
24
is nothing but I think 8.
8. So to the power of 8 we have
256.
256. What does that mean, Ayappa? How many machines I can create it inside the subnet?
Around 26 we can create.
Here also you can, if you provide, so like this, you have to determine when you're creating a size where UPC, you have mentioned the size of the VPC. Similarly, when you're creating a subnet also, you have to determine the size of the subnet. Clear, Ayappa? Am I clear about the importance of subnet?
Yeah. It's basically inside the partition of the VPC is called as subnet.
Yes, you are right. Perfect. Okay. Now Ayappa, and one more point. What is the IP address series I'm mentioning? 10.0.1.0/24.
Correct.
That
Correct.
means if I create a EC2 machine inside the subnet, if I create a EC2 machine inside the subnet, that EC2 machine will have what IP address? 10.0. Definitely it will start with 1 dot.
10.0. 1 dot.
It, 1 dot, it can be 1.0, it can be it could be 1.0, it could be 1.2, or it can be 1.5. It will pick up a random number, but definitely in this series only. Are you understanding?
Yeah, got it.
Got it? Okay.
Got it. In case if I give instead of 10.1, if I give 192.168, something like that, it should take, right? There is no constraint.
These are private IP addresses. You can use any series whichever you will. Okay. Clear?
So the number can be anything. It could 192,
Number
10, 20,
yeah,
30, whatever.
Clear. You can use anything. Now, second subnet, I want clearly mentioning 2.0 series. Okay.
Yeah.
Ayappa? That means
Yeah,
in second subnet also how many machines I can create? Same 256 machines. Okay.
Same to discuss it.
Let's say if I have created all the 256 machines. Okay.
Yeah.
Complete
Yeah.
capacity I have created. That means the first IP address will start with 1.0.2.0. Agree? Sorry, not 10 dot,
Correct.
not 1. 10.0.2.0. Next
Yeah.
next machine will be 10 dot
0.2.1.
0 dot
2.1.
and the last IP 256 machine will be 10 dot
0.2.2.255.
0 to 255.
Okay.
Am I right? This will be
Correct.
the range of IP addresses. Clear? Like this,
Correct.
partitions which we have created inside the VPC are called as subnets. Okay, I want to create one subnet for web servers. Okay,
Yeah.
so I want to name it as
Web servers.
WebSN. Name of the subnet I'm writing it as WebSN. One more partition I want to create it for the database server, so I write it as DB. Yes. So let's first create this. Okay, so let's first create this. How to create VPC? Under services, network and content delivery. Observation: there is on default VPC. Do not disturb the default VPCs. Go ahead and create a new VPC.
Correct.
What's the name of the VPC? The name of the VPC which
My,
I want
my
to
VPC.
create is my
My
VPC.
VPC.
When you're creating a VPC, you need to provide the IP address followed to the subnet mask value, which we already have decided. So creating a VPC is just less than a minute. That's it. VPC has been created. Okay. Now you can see the new VPC which you have created. The name of the VPC, my VPC, and this is the IP address followed to the subnet mask value. Next step, what we need to do, Ayappa, inside the VPC, what we are doing, we are creating subnets.
Subnets.
Okay. How to create the subnets? Can you see in the dashboard called subnets?
Yes.
Right now, how many subnets are there?
3 subnets are there.
That means these 3 subnets belongs to default VPC.
Default VPC. Correct.
Okay, so there are some default VPC. The default VPC is having default 3 partitions. Do not disturb the default subnets. What we are doing is we are creating a
New subnet.
In which VPC you are creating a new subnet? Not in the default VPC. We are creating a new subnet in the new VPC.
VPC.
So here
My
mention
VPC.
the name of the VPC as my VPC. Next, what is the name of the subnet? Well, I want to name the subnet as WebSN.
WebSN.
Okay. And Mumbai region is having availability zones. Okay, there are availability zone 1A, 1B, 1C. You can use any availability zone. This visualize something like a buildings, so it doesn't make any difference. And when you're creating subnet, also you have to determine the size of the subnet. I'm mentioning as 10.0.1.0/24. Okay. created. Where I have created? Inside the my
If I
VPC.
created VPC with red dot series and I'm creating subnet with the 192 series, it won't tell, right?
Good question. Repeat your question. If your VPC is
He's
starting with
creating
what
with the
number? No.
10 dot series.
Okay. Your VPC is starting with 10 dot series.
Yeah.
This means all the 65,536 machines IP address start with 10 only.
Okay.
Are you understanding, Ayappa?
Yeah, I understand. Correct.
Every machine inside the VPC, all the 65,500 machines should start with what IP address? 10.
10 series.
In such case, if it is, how can you start a different number here? It's not possible. Are you understanding, Ayappa?
Yeah.
Because this is a subset, right? Subnet is a subset of VPC. Okay,
Yeah,
isn't
got
it? So it should follow the
Got it.
same series. So I am done with creating the first subnet. I'm done with creating the first subnet. You can see the name of the subnet. Now total there are 4 subnets. 3 subnets belongs to the default VPC and I have created first subnet, and it is very clear that the first subnet is created inside the my VPC. This is the IP address series followed the subnet mask value which I have created for the first subnet. Similarly, let's go ahead and create a second subnet. We have one again create subnet. Where do you want to create the subnet? Obviously inside the new VPC, that is my VPC. And then the second subnet, you need to mention the name of the subnet. This time I want to name it as DBSN because this subnet I want to create for DB servers. Availability zone, I can select any availability zone. So go to first one and then IP address series. I'm taking 2.06. Done. So creation is very, very simple. It does not take any practicals, does not take much time, but the importance is conceptual knowledge. Okay. So I have created one VPC. Inside one VPC, we are having 2 subnets, one web subnet, one is DB subnet. Okay. So let many are having some questions. Let's have a discussion. Deepanjali.
I have one. Hello.
Yes,
Hi, sir.
Deepanjali, we can hear you.
Okay. I have one doubt.
Hmm.
Subnet that you created as 10.0.1. Can
Yep.
we create as 10.1?
You can also do that. Okay. It's up to you.
And
Deepanjali.
10 instead of 10, I can use other series. I mean,
Any
I don't know.
number you can use. You can use
Yeah.
40 also, 50 also, 10 also, 15 also. Any number does not make a difference. Okay.
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 All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Clear about the calculation behind the VPC and how what is the importance of subnet. Subnets are nothing but partitions created inside the VPC. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Selvam. Kumar Selvam.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Today's topic is VPC, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have doubt in the command line, sir.
Okay. Please ask any questions related to VPC. Please ask me. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Moglaya.
Yeah, hi sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Able to hear me?
Yeah, it's very clear. Yes, your question, please.
Yeah, the maximum subnet mask is 32. Can I proceed with below 16 also? Where the 16, the 2 power 16 is maximum is 65,536. Can I
Yes.
use the less than the 16 as well?
Yeah, you can do that. Okay. If I use 10.0.0.0/10. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So what is the maximum number? 32. You are
32
using
minus
10. So it's nothing but
12.
12.
22, I think.
22.
Yes.
These many number of machines, 4,19,000 machines you can have.
Okay. Just I got a confused because even a default one also it is showing 16.
Okay, that's okay. So
Thank you.
clients may have more than 65,000 instances. In such case, you can do it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Girinath Reddy.
Hi, Sunil. Good morning.
Good morning, Girinath. How are you doing?
Yeah, I have a question. This related to subnet.
Yeah.
Actually, we given that subnet mask size as 16, right?
Subnet for VPC?
Yeah, for both. Yeah, for VPC and as well as subnet. We can give that, right?
16,
Subnet mask.
16 we have given it for VPC.
Yes.
24 we have given it for subnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can change that dynamically or.
You can change whenever you want to increase, you can increase it. That's not a problem.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, Nikhil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Nikhil, your question.
Sir, actually, like my question is like you have created 100 machines, right, sir?
Inside the subnet you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sir, like AWS charges, then why can't we, sir? Like we need only 2 machines, suppose. Then sir, why can't we make it 100?
Repeat your question.
Like sir, suppose I need 5 web servers, okay, right, sir?
No. Your client needs 5 web servers.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
And sir, like in this PPC, we have created the hundreds, I mean 256 minimum.
Not VPC, subnet.
Yeah, in the subnet we created minimum as 256 size.
You will be billed only for the number of machines you create inside the VPC. Okay.
And sir,
You
like
will get the bill for the number of machines which you create inside the VPC for the number of machines you have created inside the subnet. Your bill will not increase because of your size is increased. Okay. So finally, it's only the EC2 machines that gets calculated, not the size.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Shanta.
Sir, if that 10.0.1.0 series, we create 256 EC2 machine only, sir.
Yeah. You can create only 256 machines.
It is a default. It is default type, sir.
Because what is the number you have used? 24.
Yes, sir.
So you know the calculation, right?
Yeah.
It's not default. You have provided 24. 32 minus 24 is 8. 2 power 8 is 256. That's the reason you got this 256 number.
Okay. Sir.
Okay. Got it?
If you increase that subnet mask means it will.
Yeah, the number changes.
Okay.
Okay. Do it accordingly.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So we are done. We are done with creating VPCs. We are done with creating subnets. Fine. Okay. Now let's something more to learn. Okay. Look at my statement. By default, every subnet is private. By default, every subnet is private. This is a statement. Try to understand this statement. Your question could be, Sunil, what is private? We understood subnet is nothing but partition inside the VPC. What is the meaning of the term every subnet is private? Okay, so let's start from the scratch. More meaningful diagram, more clear diagram. So first step, what we have done is we have created a VPC. The name of the VPC is my VPC, and the IP address what we have used is 10.0.0.0/16. Next, inside the subnets you have created, inside the VPC you have created two subnets, one subnet for web servers, one subnet for database servers. The name of the subnet what you have provided is WebSN. Name of the WebSN. The name of the second subnet is DBSN. Okay, and the IP address series what you have provided is 10.0.1.0/24. Am I right? Isn't it? And second IP address range is this one. Okay. How many subnets are there? Two subnets. By default, every subnet is private. That means in our case, web subnet is private and DB subnet is private. What do you mean by private? The meaning of private is nothing but if you create a EC2 machine inside the subnet, if you create an EC2 machine inside the subnet, nobody in the world can connect to that EC2 machine. When you create a EC2 machine inside the subnet, as the subnet is private, nobody in the world can connect to the web server. But point is, everybody should have, let's say for example, look at this. I want to check my balance. So I have an ICICI bank. So I log into icicibank.com. I want to log into my bank account. I want to check my mini statement, or I want to check my, I want to create a fixed deposit, whatever I want to access. I want to access. So when I write icicibank.com, the request should go to, will go to web server, and web server, this page I'm getting from where? This page I'm getting it from the, I'm getting this page from the web server. From where I am getting, this is a web page. We already know, we have discussed it day one. EC2 machine, we have created a web server. Web server will accept the request, and in response, it will deliver the web pages. Fine, but the point is, I should able to, the moment if I open icicibank.com, you're getting, I'm getting the web page. Similarly, if you are in Bangalore also, you're getting the web page. You may be in US also. If you open icicibank.com, you get the same web page. That means the web server should be available to public. Always the web server should be available to public. It should be accessible by the public. If I'm opening facebook.com, I'm getting a Facebook page. It is available to public. I want to do online shopping. If I open flipkart.com, I'm getting a page. Those are available to public. Web server should be always available to public. It should be available to public. That's how you are able to make your business online live for the world. If you're opening twitter.com, you're getting a web page. It is available to public. The web servers should be available to public. But the problem here is, by default, the subnet is private. Nobody in the world can connect to this particular EC2 machine which you have created inside the subnets. So what you have to do, you should make, subnet as what? Public. When you make subnet as public, the EC2 machine anybody in the world can access. Did you understand? The web server should be always available to public. Clear about this? Okay. So how to make a web server public? How to make the web server public? The DB server should be private, because most important point is highest security is required for the database server. Web server should be available to public, boss. So customer, if I am opening ICICI Bank from my laptop inside the browser, if I'm opening icicibank.com from my browser, the request will go to web server. I get the web page, I log in my details, and when I click on mini statement is nothing but last 10 transactions, last 10 rows, last 10 records. That records are available in the DB server. So request should go from the via web server. The request will go to DB server. DB server, last 10 transactions, it will be displayed. It will be given to web server. From the web server, that information is displayed to the user. That's how it accesses. That's how it should happen. Information to database server should be via web server only. Okay, so web server should be available to public, but the DB server should not be available to public. DB server is highest security. If you make DB server available to public, there is a chances of hacking. Never. Don't make every subnet public. You have to know which subnet should be made public, which subnet should be made private. There's nothing called making private. By default, the subnet is private. So DB server should always be in the private subnet. There's no problem for this particular subnet. DB server is highestly secured, so there's no problem. But the web server should not be private, it should be public. That's how you can grow your business. So when you want to make it subnet public, so what is the steps you need to follow? If you want to make a subnet public, how to make subnet public? Whenever you want to make a subnet public, it's a two-step process. Step 1, create IGW, stands for Internet Gateway. Create Internet Gateway and attach the Internet Gateway to VPC. Create Internet Gateway. We have to create one more new component called IGW, stands for Internet Gateway. That Internet Gateway component, you need to attach it to VPC. That is first step. Okay. One minute, please. I'll show you. So step 1, to make the subnet, by default every subnet is private. To make the subnet public, okay, you need to follow a two-step process. First step, what you need to do, you need to enable public IP address. Okay, at subnet level, friends, at subnet level you have to enable public IP. That's first step. At what level? Try to understand the pictorial representation. At subnet level, I'm enabling IP address. Next component, you need to create Internet Gateway, and then you need to attach the Internet Gateway to the subnet. So these are the two process steps you need to follow. When you follow these two steps, the subnet becomes public. When subnet is public, anybody in the world can get access to the EC2 machines. How to create Internet Gateway? How to attach the Internet Gateway to VPC? How to attach the Internet Gateway to the web subnet? How to enable IP address? I don't want to discuss now. I want to discuss these concepts in tomorrow's session. But one more important observation. Okay. I want to have a discussion with Ayyappa again. Can we have a talk?
Yeah.
What, as per this calculation 24, what is the size of the subnet?
It will come around 2 to the power of 8 or 256 hours.
That is 256 is the size of the subnet. Okay.
Subnet.
What is the name of the subnet? WebSN. What is the size of the second subnet?
Same. 256.
That's also 256. What is the name of the second subnet?
DBSN.
Okay. Now look at this subnet, first subnet. Look at the first subnet. Can you see this? Available IP addresses in the first subnet is how much? 251.
250, correct.
Second subnet also DBSN. As per our calculation, we should get 256, right? As per our calculation, we should get 256, but we are getting 251. How many IP addresses are missing? 5 IP addresses are
5 IP missing.
Yes. Now look at this. Observe available IP addresses. It is showing as what? 256. But we should get 2 power 8, right? We should get 256. But it is showing as
Correct.
251. What does that mean? This means 5 IP addresses are missing. Every subnet, 5 IP addresses are reserved by AWS. AWS will reserve 5 IP addresses. Those IP addresses are blocked in the sense used by AWS for the internal use. Are you understanding, Ayyappa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, understand.
So here you can read the documentation. Important. All these are important. VPC and subnet basics. VPC and subnet sizing. Okay. Ayappa, please look at this. The first 4 IP address and the last IP address in each subnet are not available for you. Okay.
Okay.
First 4 IP addresses and last IP address. That means in our example, the first I4 is nothing but 10.0.1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Okay. And 1.255. Okay. So these are the IP addresses which are reserved. It's not available for you to use. Got it? Ayappa?
Got it. Yeah,
Okay.
great.
So that is remember, that is you cannot do that. So it's always 5 IP addresses are blocked. Okay. So you need to keep that in mind. So in the interview, they ask you, you should mention that every subnet, the 5 IP addresses, AWS will keep it with them, reserve them for their internal purpose. Okay. So that's the reason you're getting 251. Okay. Next. Okay. How to make the subnet public? For that, you have to follow some steps. I don't want to discuss that in today's session. I want to discuss that in the tomorrow session. So before moving on, there are a lot of questions by many of the participants. Okay. So Sabarish, good morning. Doing well. How are you? Machines. Right. Yes. What is balance? Where? Inside the VPC? No. No. 1 minute. Your VPC is having 2 power 16 machines. Next. Your subnet is having. Okay. Next question. Next statement. Other partition is nothing but you're talking about WebSN or DBSN. Yeah. Point out that the DBSN should have. No, it's not compulsory that both should be equal. Okay. Some clients may have 1000 web servers. Okay. And 100 DB servers. Okay. It's not compulsory that both should be equal. It's up to the requirement. As per your requirement, you break up your VPC as per your requirement. Okay. Got it? It's not compulsory that both the subnets should be equal. That's first point. You want to have no, you want to have what number here? You want to have 10.0.1.0 slash. This is what you want. Yeah, why not? It's not possible. What is the total number? 32. What is the number which you are providing? 15. What's the difference? 17. What is 2 power 17 value? One lakh 31,000 machines. Each subnet will. No, 1 minute. 1 minute. So how many machines subnet can have? 1 lakh. What is the size of the? Now your question. What is size of the VPC? 65,000. Obviously, this is not possible. First, you have to increase the size of the VPC first. Increase the size of the VPC and then increase the size of the subnet. Okay? Did you understand? Always subnets will be subset of VPC. Okay? Accordingly, you need to do the calculation. Okay? Flexible is always there. Okay. Scalable is always there. Sagar.
Yeah, morning, Sunil.
Good morning.
Yeah, Sunil, I have one doubt actually. Can we use the same subnet under the VPC?
Same subnet instance.
Yeah, actually, say suppose if you are using 10.01.0/24, okay, those are separate.
The IP address
Whatever
should be
the
different,
VPC.
right? Every IP address should be unique.
Yeah.
Okay. So better to use different series. That's good. Because already this series is occupied by the subnet, right? Take 2.0, 3.0, some other numbers are there. Okay.
Yeah, because we have created 10.0 series, means 10.10.0.0/16. The VPC ID is being created, okay, under this region. But same subnet we have created, but the separate VPC ID being created. Means we can. I seen that there is no restriction
You're
being
talking about the series in the
used.
different subnet, right?
Yes.
This is local to subnet. Okay. Other client may have the same series, does not make it. These are private IP addresses. Okay.
Okay. These are bound to that particular region, right?
Binded to that particular region, and that to particular account. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Sagar.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so please wait for the internet gateway component and route table and much more interesting concepts. Tomorrow's session is very, very important. Okay. Thank you, and until then, have a nice time. Bye, everybody.